Good morning. Today we're going to work on the oil pump. Now that it's cleaned out and everything's almost ready for reassembly, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to burnish the inside of this to make sure the ball bearings sit nicely inside the oil pump and everything rotates as it should. So I did pick up a burnishing tool. I bought this from Steve LeMay at Resurrection Cycles. It seems like these review out pretty well. So I'm going to give it a shot. Haven't done this before, but I've watched a few videos, so I think I understand the whole process. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to burnish this, we'll clean it up, and then we'll go through reassembling. We'll walk you guys through that process. I'm going to be using some valve grinding compound. I think that's the right choice. I'm not sure. I'm just going to put a little bit on the end of the ball bearing here and work that around so I can get the surfaces cleaned up on the inside of this oil pump. And I know you can take and thread these in and make this work, but I think I'm just going to work this back and forth without threading it in. Not sure if that's the right way or the wrong way, but that's the way we're going to run it today and hope for the best. And already the surfaces are sounding and feeling quite a bit smoother. There was some resistance in there. You could feel the grinding compound actually working. That one feels like it's a little rougher on the inside than the first one. And I'm actually screwing this down in just so that ball bearing can actually meet the surface. And I'm working the tool by hand back and forth. Just applying a little bit of pressure. Nothing crazy. And I could feel it actually working. I could feel it cleaning the surfaces and the surfaces becoming smoother. And that's what you want. You want those ball bearings to be able to move freely inside the oil pump body. And of course, with all the old oil and debris that was previously in this body, you never know what these surfaces really look like. I mean, I've looked down there with a flashlight a little bit, but it is hard to see in there and see if these actually are really nice. It'd be nice if you could touch them with your finger and kind of get a feel of, you know, how they actually were. I feel like that one's pretty clean. This bottom one cleaned up real nice, real fast. Wasn't a lot of resistance in there. First couple turns and you've kind of felt it a little bit, but nothing crazy. Now that the surfaces look fairly clean, what I'm going to do is put it in the mineral spirits and give it a quick rinse and a wash. And then once that's done, then I'll spray it off again with brake parts cleaner and we'll get it finalized. And then we'll work on reassembly. We'll get over here real quick and get this cleaned up. Now with everything washed out, I'm going to hit this with the brake parts cleaner real quick just to make sure that any of the small debris that might have been in there is washing away. Now with all the parts clean and dry, I'm going to go ahead and start reassembling the oil pump. We'll put the oil pump drive back in. Now with the oil pump drive back in place, we're going to work on reassembly. So there are two different screw types. One is a flat style, flat top screw, and one is a rounded top screw. And they do go in different positions, and they are a little different size. We'll work on the flat top style screws first. So first off, we'll drop a ball bearing in this outer hole here. And then one of the small thin springs goes in there next. I'm going to add just a little bit of blue Loctite onto this cap. Not a ton, just a little added extra insurance just in case. You have to make sure that the spring goes inside the cap of the screw. Alright, and that one is tight. Now we'll work on this bottom side. So we've put this one in first, now we'll work on this one next. In the same process, we'll go ahead and we'll take a ball bearing, we'll drop it into place, and then we again need one of these small thin springs. This goes inside there. And with the same style flat top cap, give it a little Loctite. Fitting the spring inside of the cap again. I'm thinking I have these backwards. Maybe this one goes on the bottom. I thought these were the same size, but maybe they are not. It must have been slightly different because that cap does fit the bottom. It fit the top just fine. Felt like it did. And on this last one, we will drop the ball bearing in. It takes this longer, fatter spring, and that goes all the way down in. And then next, it has a metering valve or a metering rod. I'm not sure what this is called, but we'll go ahead and we'll thread this in. It does have a relief cut in it that goes quite a ways down, and you cannot put the screwdriver into that. When you do that, unfortunately, it forces it apart, and it won't allow this to actually thread in or out. And I noticed that when I was taking it apart, it did fight me a little bit. So with that, we'll put this down in, and we'll start to thread it by hand. And what you have to do here is thread this down until this head is 3/8 of an inch below the surface. And I have one of my gauges set to 3/8 of an inch right there. So we're not quite there, not quite halfway yet. Almost. We're going to do 1/2 turn more. I should be right there. All right, that brings us right down to 3/8 of an inch. Now we'll put the round cap screw on top. We'll give that a little bit of Loctite here. And there you have it, one rebuilt oil pump. This thing has been cleaned, it has been burnished, and it has been completely rebuilt. I do believe this thing will function real well now that it is cleaned out, considering this thing was disgusting. It was completely filled with old, chunky, disgusting old oil, and now it's real clean. You can see the ball bearings in there. They look really nice and shiny. I believe this thing will function like a brand new one, maybe even better, hopefully. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys the process here of cleaning those up and getting that burnished and put back together. Now that you've seen the process, hopefully you can take care of your own project. It's a fairly easy one, thankfully. I've seen a few videos and I've read my manual a little bit just to get some ideas, of course, with the 3/8 gauge here. Now I've got that set and everything's finished with that pump. I appreciate you guys following along and watching. That's it for today's video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. And I appreciate the subscriptions. Let me know in the comments below if you like the longer videos or the shorter videos. You know, it's kind of all over the place. I feel like some people like them longer, some people like them shorter. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out the analytics with YouTube and what people are really into. Of course, follow my shorts feed. You guys see me posting shorts just about every day, or I try to at least, and that seems to be doing really well, but that's a whole different demographic and audience I'm noticing from the folks that are watching my videos. There's not as much carryover with the video content versus the shorts content. Not sure why that is, but anyway, as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned, there'll be more videos coming up soon. Take care.